Hey guys, welcome back. So let's continue. Okay, this is what we have so far. All we did was to create these interfaces, okay? And I'm saying that in this TypeScript interface, every single individual article will have a certain format. And that format is based on the API itself, of course, because we want to reach this articles array, okay? And we want to get only some specific keys that are inside objects contained inside the articles array. So all we did was to say, okay, this key, which is a perfect match to this one and needs to be, otherwise it will not work, or that key, title here and description there, I guess you get my point, perfect match without typos, otherwise it will not work. And we are just saying in our interface each individual article will have a given format, and the format is author, title, description, URL to open the article inside BBC website, the image URL, and the date string. Not just the date, it's the full thing, right? Which is a bit hard to read. And now we need to really start working with our endpoint and play with all of that, because we are not fetching anything yet. We are just kind of describing how we want the information by giving the types. They are all strings in this case, and we are saying I want this key and this key and this key. I think you understand my point. And then we say articles, okay, articles, right, array. So this becomes the array. Okay, now we need to start doing things, and I'm gonna just we need to go to the pages, and we go to our root directory, and this is where we need to work. And this is going to be a bit confusing, to be honest. So all I'm gonna be doing now, just I do not forget any imports that I'm gonna need a few now and some later. I'm just gonna be copy pasting all the imports right at the top. Okay. Oh, this is, of course, I cannot copy this because this is not created yet. That's the grid where the article will be living. So I imported the getServerSideProps because I want to fetch data from the news API using server-side rendering. Okay, that's why I did this. Okay, and because in this project we are not using the latest version where the app directory became stable, we are using the pages directory, so we need to import this. If this was the latest version, all the components are server side by default, but not in this specific project. Okay, that's why I imported here. Then all I'm doing is I'm importing this from my model, which is this, my models, this interface and this interface. That's all. Okay, then this is Chakra UI stuff that we'll need later, so not to worry about that. I'm gonna just give some space in here. And now I think the first thing that I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna once again create an interface. So I'm gonna say interface. I'm gonna say BBC News page props. Okay, and I want to get my fetched articles in a given format. So fetched articles individual format, and this is going to be an array. Okay, so this is this that we created before, all good. BBC News page props, I think this interface is self-explanatory. Okay, so this actually is not to be here, just confusing to have this. Okay, and then I need to start dealing with the fetching part. Okay, so I don't like this component name home. This is inside this component is where we will be rendering the product of our fetching, right? But I'm gonna call it something that for me it's way more logical. So I'm gonna call this, because we are dealing with BBC News, I'm gonna call this BBC News Worldwide, because this really is BBC News Worldwide. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this for the moment. I'm just gonna close it because I'm not gonna work on this one in this video. So now we need to deal with the server-side props and with the fetching. This server-side props, we need to use this. Okay, so this syntax, it's a bit weird, and I'm not really familiar with TypeScript, I'm honest right away. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna type this all out, and then I will give you an explanation. Otherwise I think I will mess up and do plenty of typos. So just bear with me, just follow me. Okay, then we'll go through it and see what happens. Okay, so I need to use that function, the getServerSideProps, and that should be all I need. And I need to use async and await and fetch this API endpoint, and then replace this with my own API key, and you need to use your own API key as well. Okay, so export gosh, it's not what I wanted. Okay, yeah, definitely this syntax is weird, but just try to follow and then I will try to explain. So we will need to use async and await. React arrow function. Okay, it's complaining because it's not finished, but I think, okay, get server side props. Why? Okay, this first, this auto imported it. and this is incorrect. I made a mistake somehow. So getServerSideProps from next. Why is this complaining? There I go. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Live debugging as usual. I'm just gonna finish this. I'm gonna put this on the same line because it's a bit easier for me to read. Okay, let's continue. getServerSideProps. Just gonna leave a comment here like to explain what I'm trying to do, and what I'm trying to do is to fetch the data from the news API using SSR server-side rendering. Server-side rendering. And this is why we are using this import right here. Okay. Now we need to create a const for the API response, and we will await to fetch the API this endpoint right here. I made a mistake. Okay. So I'm gonna say const API response is going to be, I need to await and then fetch. Okay, this is what I need to do, await and fetch. And then in here I'm gonna use backticks, because I want to first paste the string, but I need to remove this bit right here and use my own API key. So that's why I'm using the backticks. Okay, and then I'm gonna just say process, of course, .env dot my API key. I think this is good. Okay, and then okay, I now need to get the response in JSON format. Okay, so I'm gonna say const news response, and then I say API response. Okay, await. So we are using async await, and I need to say I want to format whatever API response I have. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Let me just look at this really quickly. News response, API response, await. I don't think. Okay, API. Now I want the API response, and I want to get in a JSON format. Okay. Whew. Then I will have to return something, which is return the normal thing. You need to return something, and the syntax is props. Okay, another object, and inside this props object I will get my fetched articles, this one. Okay, syntax is news news response, which is this news response dot articles. So we want to get access to this. This is not semicolon, this is an object, so just a comma. And I don't get why. Oh no, okay, I need to do, yeah, I will have to do something still. Fetched articles, but getServerSideProps. Why is this complaining? Let me see, getServerSideProps from next. That import is correct. And then export const. Okay, I spotted the mistake. Yeah, this needs to be a lowercase g. Okay, now it's all good, I believe. So I'm gonna say render, and I'm gonna say fetch. Yeah, just a basic comment so you know what you're doing and see what's happening. Let's just refresh this. Yeah, I don't think we are getting any errors. This looks fine to me at the moment. I'm just wondering if I want to continue. Yeah, I'm gonna just let me think. Yeah, I have my BBC News page props that I can pass into my components, but then I do not have this yet. Okay. Yeah, but I can. Yeah, I can. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. I'm gonna deal with this now. So, in my BBC News Worldwide component, I'm gonna be passing an object, which is the fetched articles, right? I'm gonna say this, and then I want to give it a comma, and then I say BBC News. I think this is the syntax. Okay, I think I made a mistake already. Let me just try to spot this. So I'm gonna make it a bit more readable for both you and me. Oh, yep. Okay, this needs to go here, and then these commas make me go crazy. Ternary operator. Okay. I think I didn't make anything wrong. So I'm just looking, and I'm gonna say main. Inside main I have my heading. I'm gonna get a box which is just a div from Chakra UI, and then I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna leave like, oops, no, comments do not work like this in here, so I need to do this and this and that, and then I'm gonna say responsive grid goes here. So it's just a note to myself, because now we are starting to fetch data. I mean, we are preparing to fetch the data, but then the data will live inside another component, and then the component will live inside this responsive grid right here. Okay, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this for the moment, because we did what we wanted to do, which was to really start fetching information, okay, using the API key. And this is the API key is inside this file that and we looked at how to create this file and how to get the API key in a previous video. So if you do not know how to do this, you need to start watching the playlist from the first video, because this is where all started, even before creating the models and all of we did so far. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here for now, and I will see you on the next one, where we will really start working on the news article information getting from the API. Okay, see you on the next one. Bye.